Hi everyone, today PhoneArena is taking a look at the new LG Enact, which is currently available from Verizon Wireless for only $20 with a 2-year contract. The LG Enact is pretty much a low to mid-range smartphone. Key features of the device is a 4-inch WVGA display that's 480 by 800 pixel resolution. You have a standard VGA camera up here at the top, your capacitive buttons here at the bottom, and a 5 megapixel autofocus camera with LED flash here on the back. Round on the right side is your volume rocker buttons, kind of recessed here a little bit. It's not real easy to find by just touch alone. Up on top is the 3.5 millimeter headset jack, and around on the right side is the power lock key. Again, a little bit recessed, not that easy to pick up just by touch. Popping off the battery cover, have a pretty decent size, a 2460 milliamp hour battery, your SIM card slot, and also a micro SD card slot there. Of course, one of the main features here of the LG Enact is actually the 5-row QWERTY keyboard. The design fits pretty comfortably in the hand, and as you can see, you can easily open and close the keyboard just by one hand. It's 5 rows like we stated. Across the top is the number keys with the letter keys below that. Keys are a relatively good size, but people with larger hands may have issues using the keyboard, mainly because the keys are pretty close together. There's not a whole lot of space there, but other than that, it is a pretty decent designed keyboard. Device is overall made out of plastic. It's sort of a two-tone black and gray combination. It's not too big, not too small, about average size. Fits pretty comfortably in the hand and is pretty lightweight for the size. Taking a closer look at the user interface, the LG Enact has Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean for the operating system. As you can see, it's got a total of 7 home screens. You can also loop through them pretty quickly here. Going into the app drawer, again, everything pretty much laid out simplistically. A couple other features that LG includes here. There's 2 different modes. You can either choose from a standard mode or a starter mode. The standard mode is what we're using right now. The starter mode is pretty much for people that's never used Android before. There's also some home screen themes that you can choose from. So it's sort of a little bit of the Optimus UI here on the LG Enact, which it's not the full Optimus UI, but it's still nice to have that extra layer of customization. For web browsing, we have the Google Chrome browser, which does a pretty decent job, but due to the 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor, you can see it does kind of skip around some here while trying to load and render pages. So it's not a perfectly smooth experience using the browser, pretty much because of the slower processor on here. Pinch to zoom also takes a couple seconds for it to re-render the page. One other thing to point out is since the display is only 4 inches with WVGA resolution, image quality and text is going to be pretty small and jagged, so it's not going to have the best web browsing experience, but still it's livable. It's pretty standard for a 4-inch screen. We would have preferred a 720p display, but again, for $20 we can understand that it's only a WVGA display. The camera interface is laid out well and is pretty simple to use. Have a few different scene modes here, a couple other picture settings such as the flash, brightness, ISO, color balance. As far as the actual picture quality is concerned, pictures taken outside look pretty decent for a 5 megapixel camera. Colors are pretty neutral, nothing really out of the ordinary here. Unfortunately, when going to inside pictures, once the image starts to have lower lighting conditions, image quality really starts to drop down. Flash is also plenty bright enough, but it does sort of create a greenish hue. For videos, they can be recorded at full HD 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second. So video quality is passable, but really nothing too spectacular. One area of disappointment is in regards to the backlight on the QWERTY keyboard. As you can see here, it does illuminate for several seconds and then turn off, but unfortunately the backlighting on the keyboard really isn't that bright. It's really dim, and when used in a dark room or at night, it's really not as bright as we would like. So that's really the only thing here that we particularly don't care about the keyboard. The backlighting should be a bit brighter on it. The call quality on the LG Enact is passable. It's not the best that we've heard, but it's not horrible either. Voices have a little bit of a digitized tone to them instead of sounding clear and natural. So it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's pretty much doable. As far as the 2460 milliamp battery, we're able to get about 10 hours of continuous talk time on a full charge, or about a day and a half under mixed usage. So that's pretty reasonable for a device in this class. So like we said, the LG Enact is available from Verizon Wireless for $20 on contract, which makes it pretty much affordable to anyone. The main feature again being the full-size QWERTY keyboard, as this really is key here, as it's pretty much designed for anyone that wants a physical keyboard instead of having to use the on-screen one. The device is more mid to low end. It pretty much does everything okay, but it doesn't really excel at anything. The 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor really kind of holds the device back from really performing all that well. Also, the 4-inch display, even though it's not a bad size, since it's WVGA resolution, text and images really aren't going to look that nice and crisp and sharp. Camera quality is okay for outdoor pictures. Indoor pictures aren't really that great. Call quality, it's okay, again, not that great. So if you want to find out some more information about the LG Enact, visit our website at PhoneArena.com.